Probably 50% of the disappearances have some factor of foul play.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
The place to get away with a crime is on a cruise ship.
Did you know that since the year 2000, nearly 200 people have been reported missing on cruise ships?
The place to be a sexual predator and prey on children is on a cruise ship. A little 11-year-old girl from Brazil sailing on the cruise with her grandmother leaves the dining room, is followed out of the dining room by a waiter who touches her inappropriately, gropes her, fondles her, kisses her right in the view of the CCTV cameras. If you're a rapist, you're more likely to get away with it committing the crime on the cruise ship on the high seas.
A federal jury just returned a verdict for $10.2 million on behalf of a 21-year-old woman who claims that while she was a passenger on a Carnival ship, she slipped and fell, hit her head, and a Carnival crew member dragged her into a closet and sexually assaulted her.
No, really.
All of this is happening out in international waters typically. There are no policemen on the scene. You can't call 911 or you can't summons a police officer who will run onto the crime scene. So they're out there by themselves.
Jim Walker says the industry has done little to clean up its act.
That's incredible! I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise!
You have cabin attendants now who are being hired from third world countries, no disrespect to the small Caribbean islands. You don't know what you're getting, but you're hiring a 28-year-old man to be responsible for a 12-year-old girl's cabin, and mom and dad don't know what's happening, and they're at the casino, they're at the show, they're up at the nightclub, and the cabin attendant gets back into the cabin.
So what do I do if I want to go on a cruise, but I don't want my family to be murdered?
While the cruise industry has followed some guidelines, such as installing peepholes in cabin doors, few ships have upgraded their video systems or installed man overboard alarm systems, and passengers continue to disappear.
I just can't believe that the international community are letting this go on, really. It is hard to understand why they let it go on.
Yeah, why would they let that go on?
The world is actually ruled by demons.
Oh, that's why.
In almost every major city, there are symbols for Lucifer. The headquarters of the United Nations is located at 666 United Nations Plaza, where there is plenty of demonic symbolism, such as this end-time beast. In the Bible, it is said that 200 fallen angels descended on Mount Hermon, and that the UN, coincidentally, has a base there. The craziest thing is that there is a huge pyramid in a city called Astana, which has been intentionally hidden from us, similar to the one on the money that controls our entire world. And in this pyramid, there are 200 perfectly aligned chairs.
Come on now, stop the cap. Oh, 200 perfectly aligned chairs. Ooh, interior design.
In the same city, there's another torch representing Lucifer. This evil symbolism even extends to CERN.
Did he say symbolism? Dude, you gotta start writing this script better for the AI. Seriously.
This evil symbolism even extends to CERN, the state research facility, where there is a statue of Shiva, the destroyer of worlds.
I don't think the name is Shiver. Wouldn't that be a terrible movie?
Shiva, the destroyer of worlds.
5 people, including 4 from one family, died this weekend when 2 boats collided head-on in Georgia. Video from the scene shows helicopter crews rescuing one of the 4 survivors. Crews have recovered all 5 victims from the Wilmington River near Savannah. Saturday's incident is the second serious boat crash in that river this month. The cause is under investigation, but one survivor was arrested for boating under the influence.
But what the hell, boy?
Boating under the influence.
That just goes to show you, people could get drunk anywhere doing anything.
I don't drink because drinking affects your decision making.
You may be right. I can't decide.
Got him.
I think he fell in. Does anybody know who fell in?
He sure hasn't been underwater a long time.
What's that in the... No joke. What's that in the... Did you see that? Oh, I think he's there. Oh my God. I got so scared, okay.
So he falls in the water. The sea monster, or skinwalker, or skin swimmer for this scenario, grabs him, switches his body, comes up, and that's the skinwalker right there. Is what the Fantastical Man would tell us on the Fantastical channel.
Wow! That's amazing!
Did you know there was an electric moving sidewalk 123 years ago at the World's Fair in Paris?
No, I did not know that.
Stretching 543 acres along the Seine River, the grounds of the 1900 Exposition Universelle were the biggest in history. And just like all the other World's Fairs, almost everything was destroyed afterwards, including this incredible electric moving sidewalk. It was elevated above the street on a 23-foot tall iron viaduct and consisted of 3 sections. One was stationary while the other ones moved continuously.
Jesus, this nigga is boring. Oh my God. Is this how girls be feeling about you dudes when y'all be talking? Is that why they be cheating on y'all?
That's the reason why I'm fucking somebody else.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Just dry. Yo, this conversation is dry, my guy. You boring as a motherfucker. This genius tried to pick up a rock to impress his friends. Yeah, his girlfriends. We always trying to impress girls.
Oh yeah, definitely duck.
Wow. Here goes another idiot trying to impress a girl.
We're getting stuck.
Hey, let's go on a romantic boat ride.
As I stated in my last video, we had no idea this was going to happen.
He didn't have no idea that was going to happen. He was trying to impress you. And if y'all would have got stuck under there, then what?
That's the reason why I'm fucking somebody else.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Dude, what the fuck? Your clock says 10:06 right now. What is going? Is that part of autism?
Yeah.
What the fuck is autism, by the way? All I know is you just can't talk about it. Like, everybody gets all like, I'm on this spectrum. And you're like, all right, well, what does that mean? And they get like all fucking mad at you like,
I could explain it pretty easily.
Okay, shit.
Are you sitting down? There are a lot of different character traits that people on the autism spectrum.
That's funny because it's, oh my God. Okay, first of all, my wife has autism. My son has autism. Well, they have Asperger's, so they're on the spectrum too. People with Asperger's, they don't understand social cues. For example, when you say to them, let's say they lost a loved one, you say, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Their Aspie brain says, what are you sorry for? You didn't do it. When this guy says, are you sitting down? Aspies are like, why do humans even say, literally, I don't know. If you leave it in the comments if you have an Aspie brain, if you have an Aspie family member, or an Aspie just loved one. So they think, this is what I see humans doing. They say, are you sitting down? So let me just say this to another human. Are you sitting down? I think Bill Burr laughed at it because he is like, that's such an amazing joke. If this guy, the funny part is that Aspie guy, he wasn't trying to tell a joke. He was being serious, not asking, are you sitting down? But this is what you humans say. You say stuff like, are you sitting down? And yes, duh, of course do you have eyes? You see me sitting down, don't you? But the comedic mind of Bill Burr, he's like, this is comic genius for him to ask me, am I sitting down? That's probably a weird, but people who have Aspie family members, they know what I'm talking about. So that's the inside joke between us, asshole. Fucking deal with it.
There are a lot of different character traits that people on the autism spectrum have. It doesn't mean they're autistic.
Talking with your hands.
Talking with your hands. Learning to be expressive. Not picking up on facial cues, facial recognition, obsessive compulsive disorder, narrow focus, nonverbal, difficulty adapting to different situations, sensitive to sounds, smells. There's like a whole bunch of things. And the idea of the spectrum isn't really, people think it's how far on the spectrum, like how fucking autistic are you?
Yeah.
That's not what it
means. How deep does it go?
The spectrum is
like, how metal are you?
Right. That's not how it works, though.
Okay.
Like, are you an 11? It is.
I think that was the 11 because I don't know the name of the mockumentary, but when the guy has, you guys know what it is probably. Does your speaker go up to 11? And the guy's like, why don't you just make them go up to? Oh my God, I can't explain it, so I'm just gonna show you the clip. You see. That's probably what was going through Bill Burr's mind when the guy said, "Are you an 11?" So, and why would I know that as a black guy? Because I'm well traveled, dickhead. The fuck you? What do you care?
There's three main categories that I think people should know about Bouvet Island. So number one, there was this guy who happened to look at Bouvet Island earlier and he noticed that it wasn't labeled properly. So he thought this was strange. So he contacted one of his friends who happened to work at the Apple labeling for maps.
Hold on. How do you happen to work at Apple mapping system? How do you? So he contacted his friend who he happened to be getting fellatio from.
Who happened to look at Bouvet Island earlier and he noticed that it wasn't labeled properly. So he thought this was strange. So he contacted one of his friends who happened to work at the Apple labeling for maps. And he said that this was an anomaly. All maps, all areas are usually labeled. And if this wasn't labeled, that it must have not been labeled on purpose. Number two, if you look at it on the maps, it's extremely pixelated. It's like somebody was purposely trying to cover that area up. There's no detail on the map. Number three is actually these images. And this is Bouvet Island over the months of this year, which has some weird tornado formations coming out of it. What's these weird kind of like vibrational looking things that are affecting the clouds? Here's another one. Here's another one. So what's interesting about this, bro, is that the scientists around are saying, oh, it's just an instrument anomaly. But then you overlay that with the satellite imagery and you start to see, well, no, there might be some weird kind of like sound artifact coming out of Bouvet Island.
Looks like they shooting off laser powers.
Real power isn't this. It's the ability to bend the world to your will.
Today I'm going to tell you who's legally liable for this tragedy.
Our boat is sinking. Everybody's freaking out.
At least one passenger drowned, others were injured. Here's one of the vacationers, Kelly, to tell us what happened.
And at first, we were just like, what's going on? And then one of the crew members that was downstairs ran upstairs and was crying, freaking out, absolutely bawling, grabbing a life jacket. And then that's when everybody's like, oh, this is real, something's happening. But I also heard that the captain driving it was like laughing because I think he was kind of showing off. Like I said, I thought he was trying to whip the butt end around, and I just don't think it worked out the way he wanted it to.
This appears to be a clear case of liability on behalf of the tour operator and the captain. They owed the passengers a duty not to go out in dangerous weather with an unseaworthy vessel. There's also possible liability on any crew member who contributed to this disaster. I'm Ian Corzine, and that's my take.
Hey, Adonis, want to go on my boat? Nah. Why not?
You sound like a bitch. Bitch.
Black goo. So what you're seeing here is the real black goo. Yeah. Well, seems like it is intelligent, right? Programmable and magnetic. Leaked footage. Think of the possibilities with this goo. Slimy, intelligent black goo. This is going to blow your mind. For medical advices, we're here for transport mission. Looks very impressive.
Why do you sound so excited? Why do you sound like Gru? Nigga, I can do without the sound effects. It's disgusting enough. Stop helping, cause you're not helping.
Release. And on top of that, it has a self-healing capability. Look at this now. He's cutting it, and then turns back. Here again.
Did you invent it? Is that why you're doing the sound effects?
It can pass many kind of obstacles, different surfaces, underwater, in the air, through glass tubes. You can use this black goo for different kind of terrain.
Yo, family. The situation is very, very serious. I cannot stress how serious the situation is. Right now, you are looking at a holographic bird. And yeah, family, all the family know I've done this already. You see what I'm saying? But I've never caught one for so long. Normally, I just catch it and it's gone. It's like they know that I'm filming. But this one put on a show for me. Seriously. Like, wow, I don't need to edit this to show you. I literally do not need to edit this to show you. But you know, at some point I will. Sit back and just check this out.
That's interesting. Where does the person get the money for the campaign Birds Aren't Real?
Birds look normal until you dig deeper. They sit on the wires to recharge.
Holographic birds. I don't think all birds are holograms. I think, why do you need to make a holographic bird? There's a lot to unpack. Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you to my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you to my channel members.
We should talk about that thing with Princess Kate.
Yeah. So, have you seen Rosemary's Baby?
I have seen that movie.
Basically, there's a chick, she gets pregnant, they switch her doctor. The doctor ends up being someone who's grooming her. He's part of a satanic cult, and he takes her child, says it's been stillborn, but is actually taking the child and is now using it as part of this satanic ritual cult. So, that is the boiled down thesis of the film. When Princess Kate presented her child to the world, she wore the exact same dress
as the mother. Like the exact same dress.
The exact same dress.
Are we?
Should I say it too?
The exact same dress!
It's weird though, man.
Weird.
She still hasn't popped up.
No.
Yeah, I mean, she has cancer though, we think, right?
I don't know which one I prefer, that she's telling the truth or that this is true. There's like, there's a cult baby running around.
I don't want a cult baby.
A common scam in Detroit is people will find a house that's for sale or a house that's for lease, whatever it is. They'll go to the house and they will bust open the lockbox. They'll steal the key. Once they have the key, they will advertise the house on Zillow or Facebook Marketplace. The person would show up for a showing to look at the house. The guy's got a key, unlocks the front door, walks through like he owns the place. You wouldn't think anything's wrong with that. It must be his house, right? The person says, great, just give me a deposit, first month's rent, and I'll give you the key. And so now she's giving this scammer $3,000-$4,000 and she doesn't have a house. And there's no hopes of getting that money back either because the advertisements were probably posted under a fake account. The phone number or whatever that they used was likely a burner phone. So as soon as they got the money, they just threw it out. So there's no tracking this person down and there's no getting money from this person.